Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, it is my great pleasure to present today two great organizations, Mission Innovation and the European Investment Bank Group, who are bringing together their forces, their competences, and their activities in order to accelerate clean energy transition. The objective of the meeting today is to sign an agreement that will bring that cooperation forward. So let me bring to the lectern Ms. Rosalinde van der Vlies, who is the Director for Clean Planet at the European Commission and a Vice Chair of Mission Innovation. Rosalinde.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon, everybody. What a pleasure to be here today in the beautiful city of Dubai at what we can say is really a historic moment. And dear Vice President Fayol, it's an honor and a pleasure to have you here with us. Dear Julia, dear colleagues, and I think every time we go to COP, it is really a moment for the world to take stock, to really see where we stand and how we can best address the challenges that the world is still facing. It's very clear that in order to deliver on our promises, we need to make sure that we have the technological developments and the innovations for the world to be brought to the market and to be scaled up. And today, at this historic moment where Mission Innovation and the European Investment Bank Group will be reinforcing collaboration, it's precisely to do that, to bridge the so-called valley of death and to make sure that we can accelerate clean tech innovations for all. So for decades, the European Union has been investing in research and development. We have a lot of experience with that. We have invested in great innovative solutions, but we have not always been successful to translate these solutions into commercial successes for companies. This should now be the area where we will be putting in most of our energy for the months and years to come. Mission Innovation was born at COP21 in Paris in 2015, and the key objective initially when Mission Innovation started was to double the public investment in clean energy innovations. Today, Mission Innovation has grown to an ambitious collaboration of over 23 countries globally and the European Commission. And the collaboration has also been expanding to really accelerating clean energy solutions that are accessible, attractive, and affordable for all. So Mission Innovation is currently structuring its work and the collaborations it has between the countries, but also collaborations between the public and the private sector into 7 missions. And with these missions, we are really focusing on achieving some concrete objectives by 2030 and having tipping points in terms of reducing the costs and increasing the scale. So if we have, for instance, missions that focus on cost reduction of hydrogen, we are looking in affordable solutions to decarbonize the shipping sector. We are looking into expanding carbon dioxide removal solutions, and we have a mission that looks into demonstrating that grids all over Europe and all over the world in 7 continents can really integrate variable renewable energy sources. We also focus on collaboration with cities through our urban transition mission, because we really believe that cities can be a key place where concrete solutions can be demonstrated also to our citizens to show that sustainability and green solutions are not only there to save the planet, they're also there to provide a better lives for the citizens, and they also make economic sense. They also make business sense. So the collaboration that we have in Mission Innovation is really pulling together resources from the public and private sector. But as I said, it will be very important to bridge the so-called valley of death and to create and accelerate commercial deployment of solutions. This is where the new partnership between Mission Innovation and the EIB Group is crucial. We are very, very pleased that today we will be signing this agreement, and the EIB Group has grown its private equity, venture debt, and also special operation business, and really is a unique bridge between publicly funded ideas and the private sector. Let me also give you the example of two very important projects that were announced yesterday. We have the Energy Dome project, which focuses on developing a battery technology that actually was born under the European Programme for Research and Innovation, its European Innovation Council, and then demonstrated at scale thanks to financing from EIB under the EU Catalyst partnership. And also another very important project that has been receiving funding from the EU Catalyst, namely the WindFloat, which is a semi-floating wind technology developed with EU research funds and now has an opportunity to be demonstrated and scaled up through EIB. So we need to see much more of these examples where projects are bringing research results to the market and make them a commercial success for our citizens. It is really my pleasure as Vice Chair of the Mission Innovation Group to now formalize our partnership with the EIB Group. And I'm very, very pleased that you are all here to witness this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rosalinde. From the EIB, we will hear from Vice President Ambroise Fayolle, who is a great friend of the Commission and very involved in making sure that our partnership is working well in innovation.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, and good afternoon to all of you, dear Rosalinda, dear Julia. Let me say a word on behalf of EIB, because this is for us a really important event and a really great collaboration. There are two things that we know. The first one is that we need to do more on the climate front. And actually, we have organized ourselves at the Bank of the European Union to put climate action as the key priority of our lending policy. And we are already above 50% of our lending target that is dedicated to climate and environment. And we have actually secured the support from our shareholders at the midterm review that we have just passed on this strategy. And this strategy is at the heart of what we do at the European Investment Bank. But the second thing that we know is that these objectives in terms of climate action will not happen if we don't do more innovation. And actually, according to the International Energy Agency, 1/3 of the required cuts in emissions will need technologies that either don't exist or are not at the commercially viable stage. So we absolutely need to put innovation at center stage of the climate action. And we know that investing in innovative green technologies is not just an environmental need, but it is a strategic necessity. So that is what we want to do with this partnership with Mission Innovation. And we are very pleased to join as the European Investment Bank Group, as the EU Climate Bank, to join Mission Innovation to accelerate clean energy innovation worldwide. At the EIB, we have been building fruitful and dynamic partnership with the private sector for a long time, thanks to our actually great collaboration with the European Commission in this front. We work so closely with the European Commission and the private sector that it is a reason for us to be able to share risks that private investors are not willing to take alone, especially at the earliest stages. And actually, you gave a few examples, Rosalind, as what we do for Breakthrough Energy Catalyst and the two flagships that have been presented yesterday. I mean, this is really interesting. The first battery that is done basically without using any raw critical material, just using water, CO2, and steel. This is really interesting projects like this one that we want to support. 20 years ago, EIB played a very big role to establish offshore wind as a competitive and reliable source of energy in Europe. And actually, today, we continue to finance these projects, but they are also not that risky. Floating offshore wind is very risky and requires the support from the European Investment Bank. And that is what we do in Portugal, in France, and elsewhere. But we do also the financing to scale up groundbreaking battery technologies and electrolyzers capacities and innovations in sectors that are hard to decarbonize, such as steel and fertilizers, for example, using green hydrogen. So together, Mission Innovation and the EIB Group will work jointly to accelerate support for this kind of technologies that are so important for our future. We are investing in all priorities that are currently being promoted by Mission Innovation, from clean hydrogen to urban transitions, from green powered future to net zero industries. We are extremely pleased with this partnership. We think it's going to bring a lot of success in the future, and I am absolutely happy to sign this agreement today and to join Mission Innovation on behalf of EIB. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vice President. When Mission Innovation was first announced in COP in Paris, Julius illustrious boss was there standing with President Obama, President Hollande, and President Modi to say that we need more innovation in clean energy transition. But we will not reach our objectives if the private sector is not working with us. And Breakthrough Energy and Julia personally have been very involved in making sure that whatever we're working in Mission Innovation and whatever the EIB could potentially bridge to the market will actually meet interested investors. So Julia, if we can ask you to frame our future collaboration from your perspective.
Thank you very much, Anna. Thank you very much, Rosalinda. Thank you very much, Ambroise. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be here. As Anna was saying, Breakthrough Energy was founded at COP21 with the mission to accelerate the development and the deployment of the technologies we need to reach net zero. But also, what is equally important is what Rosalinda said, to make them affordable. In essence, trying to make sure that these technologies that are low carbon outcompete the technologies that are fossil-based. Mission Innovation and the European Investment Bank have been long-time partners of Breakthrough Energy. Of course, we were founded at the same time by our founders, Bill Gates, and by the Mission Innovation. But also with the EIB, we have two long-standing partnerships, Breakthrough Energy Ventures Europe, that Mr. Ambroise Fayol also participated in, as well as, Rosalinda, as you mentioned, our EU Catalyst partnership, where we were so pleased yesterday to have the Executive Vice President Sefcovic and Bill Gates signed the first two deals, Energy Dome, as well as Ørsted. I mentioned our focus is on the green premium. How do we make, in the timeframes that we have to reach net zero, these technologies incredibly as cheap as the brown technologies in simple terms? First, if we quote again the IEA, as Ambroise was saying, 35% of the technologies that we need to reach net zero are not yet commercially available. Some are still in the lab, some are at the piloting phase, some are at the demonstration phase. But it's clear that the bulk of the investments need to come from the private sector. Let us not kid ourselves, there's not enough public funding to bring all of these technologies to scale. And this is where Mission Innovation is so important. We need the public sector to really play to its strengths, supporting innovation. Mission Innovation has been supporting these technologies, the research development from the earliest stages, some that are still in universities, some that are fresh out of the labs, and really thinking as well, not just as an individual country, how do we improve our research and innovation, but how do we collaborate as these 23 countries and partners? That's incredibly important, and really the raison d'être of Mission Innovation. Mission Innovation missions, again, these have become very tangible. How do we have a mission around carbon management? How do we have a mission around hydrogen? How do we show that we are making progress on the innovation side? How do we show that we are making progress on lowering the costs of these technologies? But equally important, as Ambroise was saying, our challenge is huge. We have 27 years to reach 2050. So we need to speed up the commercialization of these technologies to bring down these premiums. And this is where the EIB is absolutely an outstanding partner in this journey to help de-risk these technologies, but equally to think about how do you structure these projects and how do you structure these companies that will emerge in a way that makes private sector want to invest. And we've seen the EIB play that leading role in offshore wind, in floating wind, in many other areas. And this is where, by working more with institutions like the EIB, we can not just think about pilots, demonstrations, first of a kind, but already have in mind how do we go to the nth of a kind, and how do we attract the right type of infrastructure capital, the private finance that we need for these technologies. We've learned through our EU Catalyst partnership that while there are several types of risks associated with these new technologies, I'll mention technology risk, completion risk, commercial risk. The key is not to de-risk them completely. We will not be able to unless they have reached that nth of a kind. On the other hand, this type of collaboration can help us better identify the risks, properly size the risks, allocate the risks among the parties that are willing to take them. Mission Innovation and EIB are the best of both partners. On the innovation government side, but equally on the EIB side, in thinking of as EU Climate Bank, how do we bring these technologies to scale and across that journey to de-risk them? This partnership that we're all witnessing today is the best of thinking about how do we create this blueprint for public-private partnerships. And I couldn't be more pleased to all remind us of the urgency that we have for 2050, but equally on the incredible importance of these public-private partnerships. With that, thank you again.
Thank you very much, Julia, for giving us the enthusiasm, the challenge. But I hope you will agree that with Mission Innovation, with the EIB group, we can we can continue the journey to clean energy transition with confidence. So it is my great pleasure to ask Ms. van der Vlies and Mr. Fayol to actually sign the act of our collaboration. The final word to put us on our way.
Well, thank you all for being here with us on this very, very memorable and historic moment. I just told the EIB group that probably we should have signed this way before, but now this is the moment where we can really accelerate together, and the EIB group joins a range of prestigious collaborating organizations with Mission Innovation, such as the World Bank. We also have the IEA, IRENA, the Mission Possible Partnership. So now we have a long list of collaborations. So welcome in this group of collaborating organizations. I believe that through this collaboration we will be facilitating access to finance for innovative projects, focusing on the sectors that are hardest to decarbonize. And I also believe that it will be extremely beneficial for all the missions of Mission Innovation. because these missions will have now access to expertise on financial instruments. And at the same time, the EIB will, through the missions, gain insight in a pipeline of emerging clean technologies and also breakthroughs in these very important, hard-to-abate sectors. I'm also convinced that together we will be learning lessons, and we will also have an opportunity to disseminate these lessons beyond the collaboration that we will be having. So also other private stakeholders and also other public organizations across the world can really benefit from the insight and the lessons that we will learn together. In the year of the first ever global stocktake, this collaboration between Mission Innovation and the European Investment Bank Group marks a very significant step towards achieving our ambitious goals. And I believe that together we can give a critical mass to what I always call the three implementing I's: innovation, investment, and international collaboration. So many thanks again, and very much looking forward to collaboration. Thank you.